Did you know that 1 in 5 kids say they feel overwhelmed by schoolwork and parental expectations? Or that over 60% of children report feeling stressed about living up to their parents' hopes? The truth is, many parents are unknowingly crossing the line between encouraging and pressuring their kids, and it's taking a toll. In this video, we're diving deep into how encouragement can inspire growth without causing anxiety. We'll explore how to motivate your child to succeed without pushing them too hard, why it's important to let kids fail, and how to avoid the subtle ways pressure can harm their development. If you're ready to discover the strategies that will help you raise confident, happy kids, then keep watching. It's all about finding that sweet spot, where your child feels supported, not stressed. Let's get started. Chapter 1. The Fine Line. When encouragement feels like pressure. Encouragement is a powerful tool, but sometimes, even positive reinforcement can feel like pressure. Think of the difference between saying, "You did your best," and, "You need to do even better next time." The second one might unintentionally make your child feel like they didn't measure up. It's easy for kids to feel overwhelmed when they think their worth is tied to achieving perfection. Studies show that children of parents who set high, but realistic, expectations tend to perform better in school, but only if those expectations don't cross into pressure. The University of Michigan found that overbearing parents, who expect too much, often see a decline in their child's self-esteem and performance. How can you avoid this? Focus on effort over outcome. Praise the process, not just the result. Instead of saying, "I'm proud of you for winning," say, "I'm proud of you for trying so hard." This reinforces a growth mindset, which encourages kids to believe they can improve with effort. There's also value in making sure your child feels free to fail without fear of judgment. As psychologist Carol Dweck writes in her book Mindset, when kids understand that effort leads to mastery, they are more likely to embrace challenges and continue trying, even when things get tough. Chapter 2. The Power of Positive Reinforcement. Building confidence, not anxiety. Positive reinforcement works wonders for boosting kids' confidence, when done correctly. It's about acknowledging their effort and helping them realize they can grow. But there's a catch: reinforcing the right behaviors without setting unrealistic expectations is key. Research shows that praise for effort rather than ability leads to a stronger work ethic. Kids praised for intelligence, for example, may begin to believe they are either smart or not, while those praised for effort are more likely to embrace challenges and keep improving. This distinction is critical for long-term success and a healthier mindset. One effective strategy is using specific, personalized praise. Instead of simply saying, "Great job," try, "I noticed how you stayed focused during your project," or, "I really appreciate how hard you worked on this." This makes the praise feel more genuine and encourages your child to take pride in the effort, not just the outcome. Don't forget the power of nonverbal encouragement as well. A high five or a smile can go a long way in showing your child that their efforts are valued. According to Dr. Edward Deci, a pioneer in self-determination theory, external rewards like praise should be linked to intrinsic motivation to foster a healthy sense of autonomy. Another powerful tool is providing feedback that promotes improvement, rather than just congratulating success. For example, instead of saying, "You did great on your test," you could say, "You really worked hard, and I think if you review these few tricky parts, you'll do even better next time." This approach shows your child that growth is a continuous journey. Chapter 3. Motivation or manipulation? Recognizing the subtle signs. Sometimes, parents unknowingly cross the line from encouragement to manipulation. While manipulation might seem like a harsh term, it refers to pushing kids in ways that prioritize your needs over theirs. For example, pressuring a child to take on extra activities to impress others or to fulfill parental dreams can undermine their autonomy. One study published in the Journal of Youth and Adolescence found that children who perceive their parents' encouragement as controlling often experience lower levels of happiness and mental well-being. This highlights why it's important for parents to recognize when their support starts to feel like manipulation. So how do you know if you're pushing too hard? Pay attention to how your child responds. If they seem anxious, avoid challenges, or disengage from activities they used to enjoy, it's time to reassess. These could be signs that your child feels pressured rather than encouraged. The key here is to ensure your child has ownership over their choices. Encouragement works best when it aligns with their interests and passions. For example, if your child loves soccer, encourage them to practice, but don't pressure them to join a competitive league if they're not ready. Psychologist Jean Piaget famously said, "Children are not vessels to be filled, but lamps to be lit." This quote reminds us that, as parents, we should focus on lighting the spark of curiosity and joy, not forcing kids into predetermined molds. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on encouraging your kids the right way, and hit the bell to get notified whenever we post new content. Chapter 4. The Pressure Cooker. How stress affects kids' development. Pressure can seem harmless at first. After all, a little stress can motivate us to perform better, right? But when kids face too much pressure, it can have serious effects on their emotional and mental development. Studies show that chronic stress in children can lead to anxiety, depression, and even affect their physical health. A study from the American Psychological Association found that over 60% of children report feeling pressure from their parents to perform well in school. This constant stress can interfere with a child's ability to focus, learn, and engage with the world around them. When children feel like they are always being judged or have to meet unrealistic expectations, they begin to associate their worth with their achievements. To avoid this, it's essential to give kids some space to breathe. Let them know it's okay to fail, and that failure is a part of learning and growing. Research shows that when kids feel safe to make mistakes, they are more likely to take on challenges and learn from them. One approach is to encourage your child to set their own goals. A study in developmental psychology found that children who set their own goals, rather than having goals imposed on them, develop better problem-solving skills and a stronger sense of control over their own lives. Another key strategy is to normalize setbacks. Instead of praising only successes, celebrate the effort, persistence, and learning that come with trying something difficult. Remember, resilience is built through struggle, not success. And as psychologist Angela Duckworth writes in her book Grit is passion and perseverance for long-term goals, which means kids need time, space, and the ability to fail in order to develop these qualities. Chapter 5. Room to breathe. Giving kids the space to grow at their own pace. Every child is unique, and there's no one-size-fits-all approach to parenting. While some kids thrive with a little push, others need more space to grow at their own pace. Pressuring a child to meet certain milestones too quickly can actually stunt their development. According to research from the American Academy of Pediatrics, children who experience pressure to perform are more likely to develop issues with self-esteem and anxiety. When kids are rushed through their development, they miss out on the crucial time they need to build confidence and discover their interests. So how do you know when to push and when to give your child room? One strategy is to focus on your child's interests and strengths. If your child enjoys a particular hobby or activity, encourage them to explore it more deeply. But be mindful not to force them to take things to the next level if they're not ready. Let your child set their own pace. Research shows that when children have autonomy over their own decisions, they are more likely to feel motivated and confident. This doesn't mean abandoning all structure, but allowing them the freedom to choose the areas they want to excel in. A great way to allow space for growth is to give kids time for free play. Free play is essential for creativity, problem-solving, and emotional development. In fact, studies have shown that kids who engage in unstructured play are better at managing stress and have stronger social skills. Chapter 6. Finding the sweet spot. Tips for effective encouragement without the push. So, how can you encourage your child effectively without pushing them too hard? It all comes down to being mindful and intentional in your approach. One of the best strategies is to focus on intrinsic motivation, rather than relying on external rewards or praise. A study in child development found that children who are encouraged to find their own internal motivation are more likely to achieve long-term success and happiness. Instead of using rewards like money or trophies to motivate your child, try to connect their actions to deeper values, like personal growth or helping others. Another key strategy is fostering a growth mindset. Kids who believe they can improve through effort are less likely to feel the pressure to be perfect. They are more likely to tackle challenges head-on, knowing that mistakes are part of the learning process. Carol Dweck's research in mindset shows that praising effort rather than inherent talent encourages kids to keep going, even when things get tough. One of the simplest ways to encourage kids without pressure is to ask questions instead of giving answers. Instead of saying, "You should finish your homework now," ask, "What's the next step you need to take to finish your homework?" This gives kids a sense of control and responsibility, and they will feel more invested in their own success. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a tip on how to raise confident, happy kids.